What happens when loyalty meets luxury tax chaos? And could the most brutal benching in franchise history actually be setting up the greatest comeback story of our competitive era? We've just entered the most dangerous phase of free agency, where championship DNA collides with salary cap mathematics in ways that could either destroy our future flexibility or unlock the secret formula that transforms pretenders into legitimate playoff threats. The basketball universe is testing Masai Ujiri's legendary decision-making, with a loyalty paradox so twisted that it involves a veteran who got completely ghosted for 20 plus games but still wants to bleed red and black for life. I'm about to expose the insane financial gamble that could make this the most consequential free agency decision in Raptors history. What's up, Raptors Nation? Quick Court coming in hot with another deep dive for all you basketball junkies out there. Hope you're all crushing it today, rocking that red and black, and ready to get your free agency analysis fix. How exactly does a 32-year-old veteran who got benched for an entire season still hold the keys to our championship window? Drop your predictions down in the comments right now, because I've been studying the salary cap numbers and connecting dots that nobody is talking about yet. Seriously, stick around until the end, because I'm about to break down a financial puzzle that will absolutely blow your mind about how this decision could make or break our entire competitive timeline. Chris Boucher finds himself at the most fascinating crossroads of his NBA career, and honestly, this situation is way more complex than most people realize. We're talking about the longest tenured Raptor, the last remaining player from our 2019 championship team, sitting in free agency after getting completely benched during the final stretch of last season. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. Despite not playing him for over 20 games, there's apparently mutual interest for him to return for his 8th season in Toronto. Let me break down those production numbers that everyone seems to be sleeping on. When Chris actually got minutes last season, he was putting up 10 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and shooting 36% from three-point range. But here's the kicker. This 6'9" veteran with those incredible long arms was knocking down nearly 40% of his corner threes. That's exactly the type of production you need from a role player when you're trying to compete, especially with Brandon Ingram now in the mix. What do you think about a veteran getting completely DNP'd during his contract year, but still wanting to come back? Drop your thoughts below, because this loyalty situation is absolutely unheard of in today's NBA. The real drama started when Masai Ujiri made the decision to prioritize development over winning during the back half of last season. They needed to see what they had in Jonathan Mogbo and Jamison Battle, two rookies who showed some serious flashes. Mogbo was putting up 6.2 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists in limited minutes, while Battle was connecting on threes at a solid clip. We're talking mid-40s percentage on lighter volume. These young guys needed those reps, but it meant Chris had to sacrifice his contract year showcase. Here's what makes this situation absolutely mind-blowing. ESPN's Kevin Pelton and multiple league insiders are reporting that Chris probably belongs on a contending team at this stage of his career. The man went to high school in Quebec, he's truly home with the Raptors, and he's got that championship experience that you just can't teach. But the financial reality is creating a massive roadblock that could change everything. Are you ready for some salary cap math that's gonna make your head spin? Because the numbers tell a story that most fans aren't prepared for. The Raptors are walking a financial tightrope that would make even the most experienced GM nervous. We've got Brandon Ingram at $38 million, Emmanuel Quickley at $32 million, RJ Barrett at $27 million, Jacob Poole at $19 million, and the big one, Scotty Barnes, jumping to $38.6 million. That's already a ton of money committed to our core 5 players, and we're treading dangerously close to luxury tax territory. Now here's where the NBA's new rules become absolutely crucial. If you go over the luxury tax for multiple consecutive seasons, the league doesn't just hit you with financial penalties, they start restricting your ability to make moves. We're talking about draft pick forfeitures in extreme cases, limited flexibility with a mid-level exception, and basically handcuffing your front office's ability to improve the roster. It's not just about Rodgers' communication spending money, it's about maintaining the flexibility to build a championship contender. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you're loving this deep dive into the business side of basketball. Chris. Boucher is realistically looking at an 8-figure contract in free agency, and that would almost certainly push the Raptors over the luxury tax threshold unless they make some other significant moves. Masai has been pretty consistent about ownership's philosophy. If we're legitimate contenders, they'll pay the tax. If we're not there yet, we stay under the line. The question becomes, are we ready to call ourselves contenders with this current roster construction? The emotional side of this story hits different though. But this is a guy who got completely benched during what might be his last opportunity for a substantial NBA contract. And he's still expressing interest in returning to Toronto. Chris himself said he has a great relationship with the organization and they'll see what conversations develop this summer. That level of loyalty and professionalism is exactly what you want in your veteran leadership. What's your prediction? Does Chris Boucher return to Toronto or does he chase a ring with an established contender? Let me know in the comments. The Brandon Ingram trade changes Chris's value proposition significantly. Suddenly, we're not just a rebuilding team trying to develop young talent. We're a squad that's actively trying to compete and make some noise in the Eastern Conference. A veteran stretch four who can knock down threes, provide championship experience, and mentor our young core becomes infinitely more valuable in that context. But here's the million-dollar question that's keeping Masai Ujiri up at night. Can they afford to bring Chris back without sacrificing future flexibility? The new ownership group has talked about wanting to compete and spend money, but the luxury tax implications go way beyond just writing bigger checks. It's about maintaining the ability to make the moves necessary to build a legitimate championship contender. The clock is ticking on this decision, and honestly, it might be one of the most underrated storylines of our entire offseason. Chris Boucher's future doesn't just impact our bench production, it's a litmus test for how aggressive this organization is willing to be in pursuit of returning to playoff basketball. This Chris Boucher situation is way more complicated than most people realize, and the decision the front office makes here could set the tone for our entire competitive window. Are we ready to pay luxury tax for a roster that might not be championship ready, or do we let our last championship piece walk away to maintain financial flexibility? I want to hear your take on this entire situation. Should the Raptors bring back Chris Boucher regardless of the luxury tax implications? Or is it time to let him chase a ring somewhere else while we continue building for the future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's get this debate going. Don't forget to absolutely smash that like button if this breakdown helped you understand the complexity of this situation, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on because we've got more free agency analysis coming your way all summer long. This is Quick Core, and we'll